Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel if you're following along with my year of reading books by women. It's been really intense. I'm just going to get right into it because I read, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books this month. And let's start with the one that wasn't exactly reading. It was kind of a cheat because it's in Japanese and I cannot read that. But it's Higuchi Yuko Artworks is the name of the book. It's this artist that I've recently become really obsessed with. So I got her book, which just has like all of her art and her collaborations and stuff, like some product collaborations she's done with companies, but then just also like a bunch of series of artwork she's done, and they're just really like weird and kind of surreal and kind of cartoony, but creepy. There's a lot of animals. I really, really, really like it, and I especially love these with the bright color backgrounds and then the black and white drawings. They're my favorite, and there's lots of cats, which of course I love too. I just think they're so hilarious and awesome. I really love them. Super weird. So obviously this is like a picture book, but I had it on my list of what I read this month. So kind of cheating, but you know, I'm trying to read 75 books this year, so gotta cut myself some slack somewhere, especially because I had to read 3 super intense, difficult theory books this month, and I really did read all 3 of these already. So for my museums class, I read The Birth of the Museum. Oh, that reminds me, I actually read 8 books. There's another one. I'll go grab it. But The Birth of the Museum, it's about like museum history, and I'm going to go grab the other one. I don't have time to edit this video, sorry, so I'll be fast. But yeah, that reminded me that I actually also read New Museums in the Making of Culture by Kylie Message. They were both pretty hard to read, to be honest. Luckily, they were each only about 200 pages. You can see I highlighted a bunch. Really good ideas, really interesting, cool thinkers, but really dense to get through. Like, not fun to read. I gave them both 3 stars just because, like, I don't know, their style wasn't, like, they're not the best writers, even though they have cool ideas. So I did enjoy them, but not as much as I enjoyed my feminist theory book, which I loved this book, Living a Feminist Life, by Sara Ahmed. I feel like I've already talked about this, but I must not have, because classes started at the end of August. Anyways, I love this book. You can see all my little like note things here. This book is much more accessible, even though it's also very theoretical. But she's also, I think maybe she like writes poetry. You can tell she's just like a really good writer. So even though it's dense, also it's just so much more pleasant to read. I loved it. And then what I didn't love as much was Sewing, Fighting, and Writing: Radical Practices in Work, Politics, and Culture by Maria Tambuku. This one was about like French seamstresses in the 1800s, and also about the writer's experience in the archives, like researching them. And it was, again, like a lot of good ideas, but just like I did not enjoy the experience of reading it. I just thought that like it was a really weird layout, like the way that she formatted the book. Sorry, there's someone doing construction or something near here. Anyways, wouldn't really recommend it unless you're super interested in archives or seamstresses in France or that point of feminism. And then back to reading for fun, I read one yoga book. It's called Meditate Your Weight, a 21-day retreat to optimize your metabolism and feel great. To be honest, when I bought this, I didn't realize it was like a weight loss meditation book. I thought it was just a meditation book, and I kind of thought weight maybe meant like emotional weight. But I read it anyways, and I highly recommend this for anyone who is interested in meditation, not necessarily weight loss. Basically, her point is that like you can be doing everything right to lose weight, but if you're kind of like holding on to things or not being present, you're going to maybe like hit a plateau in your weight loss. But she doesn't talk too much about weight loss. It's more about just like, yeah, it is kind of more about like your emotional experience or mental experience and how that like then affects your physical experience. And anyways, I just really loved it. It includes like a 21-day retreat, as she called it, which is just like meditation prompts and journal prompts, like themed per day. So I tried that out and I really liked it, and I just think this book is great, and it's written by Tiffany Cruikshank, who is awesome. I just did one of her yin and meditation trainings for a week in Napa in August, which was really cool, and she's amazing. She's a great teacher, just an awesome person, and her book was amazing also. I really loved it and would highly recommend it. A book I didn't love as much was A Swiftly Tilting Planet by Madeleine L'Engle. It's the 3rd book in the Time Quintet. You probably know A Wrinkle in Time. That movie's coming out soon, and I just thought of it recently, and I hadn't read the quintet since I was a child, so I was like, I remember liking it, I'll go back and get it and read it again. And the first two I enjoyed. The first one was the best. The second one I enjoyed still, but this one I just did not like it. I actually wrote in detail about it kind of on my Goodreads review of this book, so I'll link to my Goodreads profile down there in the description, and you can click through if you want to hear more, but I don't know, I just was not a fan of this one. I'll still read the next two just because I bought all 5 of them, and they're really fast and easy to read because I think they're for like elementary school or probably more like middle school age kids. So fast reads, good to read after my head is exploding from all the theory books. And then lastly, for fun, since I went to Oregon on a trip, I read this on the plane, The Cuckoo's Calling. It's the first book in the Cormoran Strike series by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling. And it's pretty thick. Took me a little while, but I was like definitely into the mystery. It's a murder mystery. My biggest critique is that this main character is supposed to be black, and it's like the most whitewashed character I've ever seen. Just think that there's no way that anyone wouldn't think that this person is white, which is dumb because, like, you know, what that kind of says to me is that, like, I don't know, they thought that it would be more successful if there was a white person on the front, and this is just stupid whitewashing. And I think that J.K. Rowling would not approve, but I don't know, she must not have had a lot of say in this. But anyways, she's a good writer. She just, like, pulls you in. Definitely not as good as, like, Harry Potter. I mean, I don't know, you shouldn't even compare it probably because it's so different. Like, this is written for an adult, and it's a murder mystery, like I said, but just, like, a fun mystery that, you know, I wouldn't necessarily say I liked it as much as, like, my Tana French mysteries. I think she's really good. This one's more, like, almost reminded me a little bit of, like, Agatha Christie, like, a little bit, like, cutesy or campy, but not too much. Like, you could definitely still see this as being, like, real or serious, I guess, I would say. I'll probably read more of them, but I'm not, like, in a rush to read the rest of them. So anyways, that's what I read. 7 books, I believe, if I didn't forget to mention anything. I think I've read, like, 55 books by now this year, and I'm trying to read 75. And actually being in school is kind of helping me do that because I just have to read these books, like, every week for class. So I'm on to a couple new ones. I'm sorry, I don't have enough time to talk about what I'm going to read next month, so I'm just going to kind of, like, cut it down here at the end of the year to what I've read in a month, not what I'm going to read. So anyways, if you've watched this far along in this 7.5-minute long video, thanks for watching. Let me know what you're reading. Fall is here, which is exciting. Even though I'm in Hawaii, I'm kind of excited to, like, cook with squash and make, like, mac and cheese and hot chocolate and apple cider and, like, read and snuggle up. Although I'll have to do that in the AC because it's still really hot and humid. So anyways, happy fall, happy reading, and see you next time.